Welcome, Mindfulness Project family. It is Advent calendar time, and I'm super pleased to have Swami Atma with us. Most of you know him already from either the yoga retreats we gave in our projects, as well as we have done a lot of live meditations together in the last year, which were amazing. And I'm so thankful, Swami, that you offer your precious time right now, because Swami Atma is building an ashram right now. So with, all the work and organization, what that takes. So great that you sneaked in a little bit of time for us. So, and for this whole week, we have been teaching about the third divine mind state, which is Mudita, which is usually translated as appreciative joy, the joy for the success or happiness of others. And Swami, I would like to know what your perspective on this subject is, because I think you are one of the most joyful persons I've ever met in my life. So whenever I meet you, there is always smiling and laughter and connection and beauty. So we thought you are the perfect person to talk about this subject.
Thank you so much, Christian and Anya. It is always really mudita for me, actually, when I connect with you. So, Swami Shivananda used to sing, so I will just sing a couple of words because I don't know the whole song. So, but it is about mudita. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। So it is so beautiful word mudita, because in mudita there is completeness. In mudita one is filled in ecstasy. Whenever we talk about mudita, I remember the great saints of India. It is not only the male saints about whom I am sharing with you, but also the woman saints. We had Ramakrishna Paramahamsa always praying to Kali, Mother Kali. And sometimes he used to go into that ecstasy, that tears are in his eyes, overflowing, and he is dancing, and he doesn't remember that he is dancing. Can you imagine that? The state in which he is, and he falls down unconscious. Similarly, there was Mirabai. Mirabai was always in devotion with Krishna. In sleep, while eating, while walking, always she's thinking about Krishna. And if somebody comes and speaks about Krishna, she is in that total mudita bhava. Bhava here we can say in that state, bhava. It's a Sanskrit and also maybe almost same may be used in Pali. Bhava. So this bhava is necessary in one's life. Like we were talking now, maybe one is very rich. Maybe one has acres of land. Maybe one is really professional. Maybe one has acquired many abilities. The same was with Narada. Narada had all the abilities. He was a dancer, he was a singer, He was a multifaceted personality. He had the whole knowledge of the scriptures. So once he went to Mahavishnu, the Lord, and said to Mahavishnu that, my Lord, I have so much knowledge about archery, about martial art, about dance, about music, about literature. What is that I am missing in my life? And Vishnu smiled and said, you are missing Mudita, my dear Narada. So Mudita is that continuous state of bliss which is not artificial. Yeah, today we have this artificial intelligence that is also necessary for the world. For oneself, I don't think that we need artificial intelligence. Because our bhava, our state is the state of mudita. So, this state is the state which may be coming to one person not because one is trying. Because you, Christian and Anya, have been with so many volunteers. Some of the volunteers I have met also, I felt that. Like some of them were in kitchen. I don't know the name of this girl who was in kitchen. She was not so tall.
Hannah.
Yeah. So when I used to see her, there was mudita. How, you will ask me? That continuous smile on her face to serve, unconditional serving for everyone, which it becomes natural without any kind of mask, is mudita. So the world is a bit tricky, no? The world is tricky because world tried to project mudita in an artificial way, and most of the time it is a failure. So therefore, when one understands that we are connected to that mudita, for that the great master Ramana Maharshi says that if you really want to know where the heart is, he is pointing to the right side of the chest, not to the left. And he says that if you place your hand on the right side of your chest and go into that subtle state of ecstasy, you are enjoying mudita. And it is true. If you just place here at the right side of your chest, closing your eyes and relax your body and just feeling that area, you know that, or we know that, we are not understanding everything through the physical body and the mind. So mudita also is not that which we can comprehend using our sense organs. There is something more to grasp. And if that happens, that person, we can say, is in mudita. So this is what I would like to say about mudita.
Thank you
Thank you so
much. Yeah. So you explained so wonderful what mudita is, this, state of deep joy, which actually comes, out of a state of meditation, I would say. And so what would you recommend for people, how to go towards mudita? because a
The
lot of
first thing,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of times people think meditation is something very serious, and in the
Yes.
West, we look also very serious when we meditate. And but most of the time, you and a lot of monks I've seen, we always make jokes, make it very light. So what is your recommendation, especially for people in the West, to get this lightness into their life and work towards mudita?
The first thing is that we need to melt. Because melting is a process. Like, when the sun rises and when it is like noon, the whole snow melts. So here we have to understand that the sun is like an energy directed towards us. We know that the snow is an object. We know that the snow doesn't have consciousness like a human being. It has a consciousness, not so much as a human being. So if one understands that there is an sun within us, which is melting our ego. It is very interesting. My teacher 2 days was saying that sun within us is self-effulgent. It doesn't need any light from outside. Now the question here, because this is really tricky, why? Because in India, when we say to trust, it is not actually to trust blindly. Like we gave the example of the sun, and that sun is doing what? Melting the snow. It is a phenomenon which we can see in the world. When the sun rises, when there is heat, the snow melts. It is natural. Similarly, if we understand, at least we can understand. And this is very interesting that 2 days before, I did an experiment with myself. I had given my laptop to the shop and they had upgraded my laptop. When I came back, you know what happens when they upgrade? I didn't know that. All the whatever was there in my laptop is not there. One thing. And the second thing was that I had forgotten my password for Wi-Fi password. Now I am scratching my head like this, looking at my diary which is here and opening all the pages. Then I remember I didn't write it down anywhere, the password. Now I'm very sad. I have a class in the evening, online class. How will I give? Because they want me to see on laptop rather than on mobile. I did an experiment. The experiment looks very easy, but that really helped me. I closed my eyes, concentrated on the brain center, and then I was thinking about one of my students who was here like 3 months before, who had asked me this password and I had given her through my mouth. So I was saying to myself, is there a possibility for me to remember? Then I went to the neurons in the brain. And these neurons have like a long tail, which is known as axon. And it has like finger-like projections, which are known as dendrites. And there is a kind of reflexes which is going through around the body. Even now, 100 millions of neurons are working within us even while we are sitting there, wherever we are sitting. And it is interesting that a lot of things are in the chitta. What is chitta? The memory bank within us. And I said to myself, oh, my neurons, please help me to recollect the password. And like a bright light, it came to my mind. Wow, this is the, and I just typed it and the Wi-Fi started working. This is a live experience for me. So here I am not just giving credit to the neurons alone. Please understand this. When I was again thinking, did this happen only because of the neurons and the reflexes? No, there is a controller who is actually the light of all lights, which is self-effulgent, which helped me to gain the access into this memory bank and to recollect the password. So please understand that all these things happen in fraction of seconds. It doesn't like we are now thinking, okay, password will come. It is like, okay, from Khon Kaen market, I am going to my home. So it's this much time the password will take to travel. No, it is happening in milli fraction of seconds. So this is very interesting to note that this is what we are saying when we are saying that trust. It is not like just because if I want to explain to you, I would have just said, no, Christian and Anya, that okay, in India we say devotion, compassion, dedication to gurus, then nobody will understand it. So I was trying to explain to you in a scientific way that there is a greater possibility to concentrate on the brain, concentrate on the cells, concentrate on the reflexes, which helps us to unfold that memory, which is somewhere there, like very subtle. Mm-hmm. So this way we can have a greater trust.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think another question which comes up for people a lot when they are confronted with these kind of concepts is, you know, right now in our times, it seems like everything is, you know, completely different than it was before. You know, the Corona crisis is going on now for 2 years. People getting more and more depressed. Children cannot go to school anymore. The society is starting to split up more and more. And people are saying, you know, how can you be joyful and happy in times where it is an absolute catastrophe? And can you maybe just give a little bit of ideas how to inwardly handle situations like this so that joy can shine through?
One thing we have to understand about our life is that we are all connected to the cosmos. Nobody can deny this. It is not that suddenly we are in this situation. It looks like that. Wow, what is happening since 2 years? I'm suffering. It is not like that. It is said in India that whatever you sow, no, S-O-W, sow, you reap that. Mm-hmm. You reap means we all reap that. So now we wanted to plant a mango tree and we planted a tree which has so many thorns, okay? Now the plant is growing up, it has become big tree, and then we are saying, oh my God, what will I do now? I am helpless. Come on, when was time really to plant mango tree or jackfruit, which I like. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. And suddenly we are trying to escape. Now there is no escape. That doesn't mean that we should suffer with all these thorns. No, that is not what we mean. Now it is time to know that we are able to adopt, adjust, and accommodate ourselves to the prevalent situation using our intelligence. It looks not so easy, but I have met some of my friends who are very much connecting to the intelligence. Like I have a friend in Andhra Pradesh, and this friend since 2 years is not working. He is with his kids. And then what he is doing, he is helping the kids to memorize digits which are like 50 digits, 100 digits. The child you can give the child a number and the child will repeat the whole digits like 50 digits, 100 digits by closing the eyes. How is it possible to do this? That means what? We as a human beings are limiting ourselves when there is a catastrophe, when there is a disaster. Catastrophe or disaster is not the end point, nor the beginning. Like if we talk about Om is not the beginning, Om is not the end. So what I have seen that those people who are having intelligence, yes, there is a scarcity. Yes, there is no traveling like before, but there is more opportunity for one to find the resources within by going within as much as possible and trying to understand that as a human being, I have the greatest capacity to utilize my time in the best possible way during these 2 years. I'm not talking about those people maybe who are in cities where they live in small homes and they cannot go out. I'm very sorry for them because they don't have any choice. But there are so many people, many students of mine who are living in village, who are living in mountains, who are living in place where they at least can have fresh air, fresh water, fresh food, and everything is available. But then they are only listening to the news and becoming sad. So it is not the time to become sad or to show our anger towards all these people on the earth, but to refine and redefine our life and to understand that we as a human being can grow in these situations with our own hard work, our own integrity, and also by giving positive words to another people. This is very necessary now because many of my students also write to me and say, Swami, what is happening? I say, everything happening is for something which is good. So what we can do is to find the positivity within us and share the positivity with other people and let the other people be also happy like us, rather than saying that everything is going not in a proper way. Actually, if you see the criteria even 5,000 years before, many things were not going the way the humanity wanted, even 5,000 years before, not now. So now, if we are saying that everything should go as we wish, suddenly it will not happen. And we feel that it will take little more time for everything to settle. For example, if there is a big pond and we actually mix the whole pond which has mud, dirt, will the dirt settle in few seconds? No. It may take 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, even more sometimes for the whole dirt to settle down. Like that, it is a process which is happening. And now we need to find a solution or a situation where we are also trying to settle down rather than becoming more afraid of the situation. So we have the possibility to grow even in this situation. That way we can grow. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think, every problem which occurs in life is always a calling for our heart to stay calm and cool. And like you said before, to use, like always in the times of, personal or society crisis, I think the sun you were talking about is a little bit more hot. These are the possibilities where our snow can melt the fastest, because then it's 12 o'clock. And I thank you, Swami, for reminding all of us that it is so important that we stay calm, that we focus on the things which are really important. And you just said it. It's basically love, giving love to other people, being nice to other people, especially the people who have the different opinion you have, the opposite political ideas, like I think everybody on this planet is longing for peace, is longing for, harmony, and, we have all these technical abilities, and I think it's time that we use our wisdom now and our wisdom of the heart to transform what is there right now into the direction which everybody is actually longing for. And yeah, thank you so much, Swami. This is amazing. And it's like for me, I don't know how, I'm always trying to search for ways to bring people closer to that joy. And I have the feeling, you said it's not about gurus, it's not about, certain things, it's more about, finding that inside of yourself. But would you agree that it is actually very helpful to see real examples of people who have reached this level of joy in their mind? Because I don't know, for me as a person, that was really important to see the monks, to see how joyful and playful they are, and how much in peace they are. Would you agree on that? And can you maybe help us a little bit in how, because Western people a lot of times are a little bit afraid of looking up to somebody or something like this. What is your approach to that?
We understand that when a monk is in that state of ecstasy, one thing we will find that monk lives in simplicity.
Yes.
And he or she doesn't want people to call that person like a guru. There is a kind of jokes he makes or she makes jokes. And also is not something where one says, oh, I am at a higher pedestal and you are in the lower pedestal. No, there is nothing like that. That is why in India, these great sages were known as rishis. So that's a very interesting word, Christian. Rishi, rishyati iti rishihi. That means even now, if we are closing our eyes for some time, with total heart, total dedication, without any doubt, we are saying, I am blessed by the rishis and I am guided by the rishis. One feels that like a cold wave coming and surrounding that person. Like a cool breeze coming around and hugging that person. This experience, actually, I'm very lucky to tell you, maybe I had once also shared with Kristen and Anya when I was there, that once I was sharing with the students for the retreat in Thailand, in our retreat place. Suddenly what happened, I don't know. In the morning, a wind came and it circled me completely. And for some time I was smiling and all the students were smiling. We don't know why we are smiling. So that is the essence of our life. That the presence of a seer, which is also known as drashta. The presence of a seer can be a Sufi, a Buddhist monk, a Christian father, or it can be an ordinary person without any dress code. Because normally when we say, no, okay, Swami is saying Sufi, okay, then there should be somebody like who is also like a great person. So a monk, then a Christian father. Then we are always thinking about somebody with some kind of costume. No. I had met some sadhu who was actually using heavy blankets on his body, one above the other. There were a couple of jackets which had become soiled because of wearing for many, many months. But when you sit near him, you understand that he is a seer. There is a joy everywhere around that person. And that joy makes you feel that I am actually enveloped. I am enveloped by the warmth of that mudita. So we know that even when we are speaking about that, we have to understand that when we talk about a rishi, and if I am a medium and there are listeners, if they are listening to me and there are listeners, that will also not work. But if there is a coordination in our whole talk, which is like a flow from the rishi, me as a medium, and from me it is going to the listener, there is the unbroken chain of mudita happening. Therefore, this is really necessary to understand that this mudita is not an individual thing. Like if I am telling you, okay, I am giving you a session now and I am going to talk to you about mudita, that will also not reach you. So this, therefore, the deeper way when we understand that when we go to a monk, for example, the mudita is so natural that we feel peaceful. And we sometimes go to a monk or a Swami with a lot of questions. Today I will ask this monk or Swami this question. But when we go and sit in that monk's vicinity, all the questions disappear. Why? Because we are in that state where we are also being enveloped by Mudita. Then there is no more asking. We are also the same, no? If the source is same, how can I differentiate myself, the seer, and the listeners? This is a very big question which has to come in one's life. If the source is the same, the seer, the person who is speaking, and the listeners are one. So in that way, if we understand, that is the greatest understanding which will follow us throughout our life. And that is the blessing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Swami.
Thank you.
That was very, very beautiful. Yeah. So I hope all of you, in wherever you are in the world, you are as inspired as we are right now. And I hope it inspired you to really focus again on what is really important in our life, because a lot of times we take other things more important than our inner spiritual heart. And I think if we want to live out of our spiritual heart, then it takes some, not effort. People always think it's effort, but it is more that we allow our longing, our natural longing towards that which is alive in us, to unfold and to present itself. I think we all have something to give to that greater good. And Swami, you have a very beautiful way to spark this light and to bring people always back to the depth of what it means to be a human being. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coordinating this session on Mudita. It is again and again like living together, and this is the happiest moments for me also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love our connection, Swami. It's really beautiful. And thank you so much for caring for the people and giving so much to the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Okay. Then I wish you the best days and all the best for your ashram construction. If anybody feels helping Swami, you are happy to donate so that he can make a step forward. And otherwise, we from India and Thailand wish you wonderful best day. And see you tomorrow for our next episodes. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And then I will stop the recording.